I love when people do that. Was Chris playing?
Huh?
Was Chris playing?
Yeah.
At your leisure. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello. Welcome to 4 p.m. Welcome to Mona on a Friday. My name is Dean Stevenson, and please give your love and show it all up for the quartet for today of Miranda, Phoebe, Janet, and Brett. Thank you so much for coming and waiting if you've been in the museum all day, or just for showing up, getting a drink. You can get a drink if you haven't figured that out already. There's a bar over there. Actually, a drink's really important for this, and I'll tell you why in a moment. 4 p.m. is in its fourth season here at Mona, so we started 4 years ago. And as you may have read on the little O device there, which is a font of information, that the idea is that I write a new piece of music every day. So that's what I've done today. And the musicians are now looking at their parts because they haven't played it before, because it's new. So when do they get to see it? The answer is now. So we're going to put it together, rehearse, stop, start, have a little chat in front of you to show you all the cogs and the wheels and all the machinations of making stuff. And I've been doing this now, what is it, Dwayne? 444 days. That's how many days, thank you very much. Doing it for... hence my little claim of vitamin D is quite pertinent. So there's a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. We'll have a chat. We'll talk about 4 p.m. as a project and as a process. The recordings, the book, I'll tell you about that later. Now, drinking, that's important. Drinking, there's a 4 p.m. drinking game. These are orchestral musicians. They play these instruments for they pay their rent by doing this. And they're very, very good at it. They've been doing it since they were 3. That's all they do. They can't drive a car, make toast. They're shit at everything else, but they can really play the hell out of these instruments. And what they like to do is make notes. They touch their pencils a lot because there's all sorts of information. The actual dots on the page is scant. It's really nothing. It's pitch and tempo. Everything else is a marker to tell them how to get in and out of the note, which they will intuit as we rehearse it. But whenever they touch their pencil, they're giving themselves a cue to what to do. So I'd like you all now, those with a drink, to choose one of the musicians in the quartet. I'll let you do it. Right, now that you've chosen your person, every time that person touches their pencil, you have a drink. Okay? So I hope you chose wisely. There you go. See, did you choose? Yeah, you go. See, this lady here chose you. Yeah. But see, you don't just touch it because, yeah. Anyway, right. So here we go. Let's start putting today's piece together. We'll have some questions and answers and all that sort of stuff a little bit later, if you like. Here we go. Day 440. Oh, I'll tell you what. The next question. Sorry, interrupting myself. I do that a lot. I'll tell you what my inspiration was and the name of the piece, which you will see whiz by on that screen there. And if you can't see the screen, I'll leave this paper copy here so you can, if there's any music nerds in the room. I hum incessantly, a lot, all the time. Just fucking give myself the shits. It's so annoying. It's just a fucking noise, that's me. So this is the 4th or 5th day where it's not just humming, it's the same little melody, and I realise I've been humming the same melody probably for years. So this is my fourth or fifth day of taking that melody and trying to exorcise that little bugger from my brain. So this melody pops up all the time just to try and stop myself from humming it. So I'm just self-soothing, and the fact that you're here is fine. This is all about me. So that's what today's inspiration is. So we'll call today The Solitude of Humming. Okay. And what do you know? It starts with viola. Can you present us with today's melody, Janet?
How fast? Am I going?
Off you go.
I think you go.
Beautiful. Janet Rutherford. Yeah. It's a lovely dark sound, the viola, isn't it? It's because there's two violins, viola, cello. Oh, I mean, if this was a family, what would the viola be like? The uncle or the the auntie? Because this is like the grandparents, the kids. That is it.
We're the meat in the sandwich.
You're the meat in the sandwich.
No, I think I'm going to call you the drunk.
I'm going to call her the drunk uncle from now on. Okay. Now that's up to figure A. So now from figure A. So that little I think you've got that twice in this piece. So it's just a little lift, and you hold that G before figure B, where you're joined by cello. C. So, sight reading for the first time, very clever. What I think today's piece is it's about patience, because it's the same fucking little melody over and over again. Try being in my head, thanks very much for my whole life. But it's about the patience of hearing where it goes, and then for me, trying to figure out, okay, we've all heard it enough, and now develop into something else, and trying to hand it around and keep it interesting and modulating it so it doesn't get old, but it's always interesting. Any questions so far? Good? Okay, let's go from letter D, please. I think one of my favourite bits is going to be this bar 35, 36 when the cello goes up. There's you need like a special, like a pen licence. When you're in school, you get a pen licence from pencil. You need a special licence to play the cello that high. It's ungodly. And he just touched his pencil. If you chose, Brett, have a chug. Yay! This is the back row. Yay!
Should we stay below him?
Please, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why I wrote that diminuendo. Yeah.
Well, because we crescendo into bar 37, but we can still stay a bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go from letter D again, second and cello. E. Hold there. Oh, that was nice. So it kind of finally got to like a sort of a nice majory happy bit. Otherwise, it's always ending on that question mark. So if you can, too many question marks and everyone gets bored. Lovely work. The last thing I wrote when I was just before about 3:15, an hour ago, was that little pitch line you had at letter E, because I went back to the start and checked it through, and it might also be my favourite bit. Very nice. Brilliant. So the cello is winning, I know, right? One of my favourite things to say is that last year, no, 2 years ago, there was a ABC Classic did a favourite instruments of the orchestra. Did anyone vote in that? You voted, and what did you vote for? Cello. Well, there it is. It won because of you, sir, because cello was certainly the number one favourite instrument of the orchestra. I think number 2 was the piano, but viola was like. Viola's like somewhere down the list, but my favourite fact about that list, like, cello and piano and violin and all the harp and what have you, but viola was only one above the bagpipes. Bagpipes in classical music almost beat the viola. But you're not the butt of orchestral jokes. You're not. Let's go from, that was nice. We got up to G there. Yep. So let's go from F again, please, and play into G. No one's on beat one of I.
Beat one? Okay.
So it's
so
just...
that's like a general pause?
Yes, it is,
Right.
yes. That's a pause, general
Who
pause.
else is on beat 2?
Just you. You're on beat 1,
Okay,
everyone
so
else is
I'm on
beat
beat
3.
Okay.
That was a nice little key change. Technically, it should have gone to F sharp,
Yeah.
but I didn't want
Say that
to
again, sorry.
It's muted now, isn't it?
Yeah.
change them.
So basically,
It is,
just
yes.
have time to get our mutes on. And
Yes.
we'll beat 2.
Now, as we start and stop, who's never heard a string quartet live before? Who might have never heard one before? A few people? Yeah. Well, hey, welcome. Welcome. 2 violins, viola, cello. It's a very old system of music, and it covers, a lot of the voices of tenor, bass, soprano, alto. I chose to make it the same instruments every day here at 4 p.m. because the boss wanted like a dice roll every day. He'd tell me when the dice rolled. Today you've got 2 brass, 1 wind and a leaf blower. I don't know, but that's a shit idea. So I thought, no, if it's the same 4 instruments every day, then I have to continually try and keep these sounds fresh. And it's the most likely to drive me utterly insane. 444 days and it's getting close. But I do appreciate those who didn't know there would be a string quartet and thought you were going to hear a funk band. I appreciate your patience for staying. If anyone wants to ask a question, I'll come back and we can have a chat. Great.
Should we go for maybe H?
H, please.
Try and get into I.
Thank you. Yep.
That before or just...
Right on H?
work. Now, do you think the mutes work?
Uh,
You're not sure? Yeah, no, that was a no. You went, no. Okay, fuck the mute. Sorry, get the mute on. Well, what I asked them to do was put a little mute on the on the bridge, which just mutes the sound
we
and
could
makes
try
it
the
texture
beginning
different.
muted,
Yeah.
or at least
yeah?
maybe not Janet, but
No, not
maybe
me.
us.
I don't know, maybe just
No,
a different
I
section.
just think no mute.
Sure, no mute. Get rid of that. It was a dumb idea. Sorry, it was a dumb idea. Maybe. Yeah. Well, let's see if we can find out. Otherwise, forget
Yeah.
mutes. Forget mutes.
So at M, does
At
it go back
M?
to the slow? When does it go back to the slower tempo? We sort of written.
It's got a writ. Yeah, writ. Yeah, the two bars are writ, and then at M.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So pretty much from L to M, the back and forth is between second and viola.
Okay.
So you're kind of fluff on the top.
All right.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we,
Yeah. Yep. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions or insights or suggestions? Faster?
3 bars to change.
You say? No? Okay. No? Yeah.
I've written my
No?
There's too much to think about. I couldn't also realise that the
Okay.
keys would change.
Where from now?
We could go from the bar before K.
Oh, before K, yes, okay. There's no note called K. It's just like a chapter marker for rehearsals, so before you get confused. Okay, so in the bar before M, Jello has 3 and 4 quavers, da 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 dum into M.
Yeah. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe don't slur the dee da dum dum. Give it some gravitas. Yeah. Yep.
Did we hit about the right tempo?
I think so. Yep. You could even probably pull it back a bit, make it
Yeah,
more,
okay. Yeah.
more profoundly profound.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that again. I couldn't hear.
Okay, profunds.
Should we go
Any
from,
questions, anyone?
like 89?
No? Okay.
Go from 89?
From 89?
Yeah.
Yep, great. Yep. There's the pause. Any questions up to now?
No.
No? No? Okay, should we keep going? Should we keep going? We're almost there, we're getting very close to the end. From 0. Key change coming up. And cue. Well, that's a nice relief, isn't it? No one's on beat 1. 1, 2. All right, so there it is. That's the last bar. So what does it sound like end to end? No idea. We'll play it. Let's play it now. Let's play it from top to bottom, and we'll find out what it's like. My provocation about this is particularly this one, because it's this little melody that I've had in my head for a long time. It's just finding the function of harmony. So ba-da-da-dee-da-da always has partners that support it harmonically. That's what it is. I'm not deliberately trying to make you cry or make you think of Jane Austen or unrequited love or whatever the hell's rushing through your brain. That's not my job, that's yours. So I'm literally just writing something that I hum in my head, which happens to sound nice and work functionally, and if you showed up with a blank page and a pen and had to just fill it full of words, even though you didn't have a story, you still know how words function. So you can put them in the right order that someone can read it and understand it regardless of how bland the story is. So that's what I do now, and some days they're very bland, other days they're amazing, and that's what these record. There's 3 volumes of recordings, our favourites, which you can get from me, downloads with CDs upstairs, whatever. And the other days we went, yeah, but it's still only less than 10% of all the 440 stupid days that have been here. But there, you've got to show up and kind of get it, and some days they're just shit. They're so bad, but whatever, just roll on. Most of us put it in the cupboard and don't show anyone. I can't do that because I'm here in front of you, and there's a live stream. Hi, Mum. As well. I did write a book, which is a bit of a thing. This is, if you want to, this is not about music, a little bit, but not much. It's about the act of creativity. Showing up and just doing something day after day. I kept a diary for 150 consecutive days right here. We'd do this, the curtain would come down, and I wouldn't leave the building until I'd written an entry, and that's what that is. So plus all these other little essays of creativity and stuff, and all of you can see we record everything, so there's all available through a Patreon page. You can find me there, or 11 hours of music in 150 days, it's all there. So sometimes it works, and sometimes it's just a good chat about how shit it was. Anyway, today is day 444. Do you need me here?
No, just one more.
One question. I love questions.
I didn't really do the Procovacella at the 3rd bar of R.
3rd bar of R.
Do you want that in? Like, sort of, I don't know.
Oh, I see.
We'll do it. It's just, I didn't do it then.
It's just you, isn't it?
Yeah, please do it. Yeah.
And does it
put
go
it
to
in.
S?
And does it go to S?
That's right. Yep. And at S is the slowing down to tempo.
Yeah.
Or at S is fine. At S is fine.
Yep.
Our tempo is fine.
Cool. No, we don't need you.
Okay, great. I love that. So they don't need me. Yay. So I'm going to go sit over here, have a glass of wine, and listen to Miranda, Phoebe, Janet, and Brett play day 444, which I've called The Solitude of Humming. Miranda, Phoebe, Janet, Brett. Thank you so much, everyone. 4 p.m. goes until the first week of October. So we're here for I'm only halfway, days and days to go. Anyway, come back and check in, check out, come and have a talk about creativity or the recordings of the book. I do thank you for your time. My name is Dean Stevenson. Have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye.